A very warm good morning, class 8, and welcome to your geography class. So, students, if you all remember, then yesterday we began with the third chapter from your geography textbook, that is minerals and power resources. And yesterday we discussed about the meaning of minerals, the various types of minerals, and also the various processes through which minerals can be extracted. So, before we begin with today's discussion on the topics of distribution of minerals and use and conservation of minerals, let me give you a quick summary of whatever we studied yesterday. So, as I told you, yesterday we studied about the meaning of minerals. So, what are minerals? Minerals are naturally occurring substances that has a definite chemical composition. And remember, minerals are not evenly distributed all over the Earth's surface. Okay, they are concentrated only in a particular area or rock formations. So, these minerals, as I told you yesterday, can be identified on the basis of their physical properties, such as color, density, hardness, and chemical property, such as solubility. So, after discussing about the meaning of minerals, we went on to understand the various types of minerals. So, I told you yesterday that there are over 3,000 different minerals found on Earth, and on the basis of composition, minerals are classified mainly into metallic and non metallic minerals. So, metallic minerals are those which contain metal in the raw form, and non metallic minerals are those which do not contain any kind of metals. Some examples of metallic minerals are, um, they are iron ore, bauxite, manganese, etc. And non metallic minerals are limestone, mica, gypsum, etc. Again, students, we also discussed about ferrous and non ferrous metallic minerals, if you remember. So, what are ferrous minerals? Ferrous minerals are those minerals which contain iron, like iron or manganese, chromites, etc. And non ferrous minerals are those which do not contain iron, but they may contain some other metals, such as gold, silver, copper, lead, etc. So, these are the various types of minerals on the basis of their composition, metallic and non-metallic. And again, metallic minerals are divided into ferrous and non-ferrous minerals. Now let's quickly recall about the different ways through which minerals can be extracted. So mineral can be extracted into three types. First of all, people can either do mining. Number two is drilling, and the third process is called quarrying. So, mining is a process of taking out of minerals from the rocks which are buried under the earth's surface. And mining can again be open cast mining and shaft mining. So, minerals that lie at the shallow depth and are taken out by removing only the surface layer, that is known as open cast mining. And when deep bores or shaft are made to reach the minerals deposited deep inside the earth, that is known as shaft mining. Then again, there is another process called drilling. So, drilling means making deep wells which are bored to take out certain kind of minerals like petroleum and natural gas, which occur far below the earth's surface. And finally, there is the process of quarrying. So, quarrying is done to extract those minerals which lie near the surface, and they are simply dug out. It's not a very complicated process. So, this is a gist of whatever we did yesterday about minerals, about the types of minerals, and about the extraction of minerals. So, students, today we move on to our discussion into distribution of minerals and the use and conservation of minerals. So, let us begin first with the learning objectives. So, after today's discussion, you all will be able to understand the distribution of natural resources globally, that is, on the earth, learn about the necessity of minerals, and finally know about the way through which minerals can be conserved, and also the reasons as to why the conservation of minerals are important. So, let us today begin by first understanding the distribution of minerals. So, students, this is a world map, and this is also can be called the mineral map of the world. So here, if you look into the map very closely, you will see the various kind of minerals that are found in the different parts of the world. So you will understand this map better with the help of the explanation and the slides which I have prepared for you for your better understanding. So let's move on. So before moving on to the various places on earth where minerals are found, let me first tell you about the different kinds of rock formations through which the minerals are extracted. So, there are two types of minerals, as you already know, metallic and non metallic minerals. So, metallic minerals are generally found from the igneous and the metamorphic rocks, and non metallic minerals are definitely found from the sedimentary rock formation. So when we talk about the igneous and metamorphic rock formation and the minerals that we get through it, then some examples are given here. For example, iron ore in North Sweden, copper and nickel in Ontario, Canada, iron, nickel, chromites, and platinum in South Africa. These are some examples of this kind of metallic minerals which we get from the igneous and metamorphic rock formations. Next is the non metallic minerals which we get from the sedimentary rock formations. And some examples are limestone deposits of Caucasus region of France, manganese deposit of Georgia and Ukraine, and phosphate beds of Algeria. Mineral fuels such as coal and petroleum are also found in the sedimentary strata. So these are the types of minerals and the kinds of rock formation from which these minerals are found. So now let us move on to the distribution of minerals uh, in the various continents of the world. So first, let us talk about Asia and Europe. So let's talk first about Asia. So large iron ore deposits are found in China and India. The world's largest tin producers are China, Malaysia, and Indonesia. The largest producers of lead, antimony, and tungsten are China. And then the deposits of manganese, bauxite, nickel, zinc, and copper, they are all together found in Asia as a whole. Now let's come to Europe. Leading producers of iron ore in the world is Europe. Countries with the large deposits of iron ore are Russia, Ukraine, Sweden, and France. And also deposits of copper, lead, zinc, manganese, and nickel are found in East Europe and European Russia. That means, in the side of Russia in Europe. Next, about North America and South America. So, mineral deposits in North America are located mainly in three zones: the Canadian region north of the Great Lake, the Appalachian region, and the mountainous ranges of the west. Iron ore, nickel, gold, uranium, and copper, these are mined in the Canadian Shield region. Coal is found in the Appalachian region, and in the West Cordilleras, there are vast deposits of copper, lead, zinc, gold, and silver. In South America, the largest producer of high grade iron ore in the world is Brazil alone. Leading producers of copper there are Chile and Peru. World's largest producers of tin are Brazil and Bolivia. Large deposits of gold, silver, zinc, bauxite, etc., including diamond, is found hugely in South Africa. And mineral oil, which is very important, is found in Venezuela, Argentina, Chile, Peru, and Colombia. Next, we have Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. So let's see about Africa first. So Africa is rich in mineral resources, and they are the world's largest single producers of diamond, gold, and platinum. So they also produce a large portion of the world's gold, especially in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. Copper, iron ore, chromium, uranium, cobalt, and bauxite, and some other minerals also are found in Africa. Oil in Africa is mainly concentrated in Nigeria, Libya, and Angola. Then Australia. Australia is the largest producer of bauxite in the world and also the leading producer of gold, diamond, iron ore, tin, and nickel, rich in copper, lead, zinc, and manganese. And the largest deposits of gold are found in the Kalgoorlie and Coolgardie areas of West Australia. Next is Antarctica. The significant size of deposits of coal, the the Transantarctic Mountains, deposits of iron forecasted near the Prince Charles Mountains of East Antarctica, and iron ore, gold, silver, and oil present in some commercial quantities. So students, these are the various kind of minerals and their distribution all over the world continent wise. So there is nothing to explain in these slides basically, but I have highlighted the various minerals found in all these places basically because map questions are definitely coming from this part. So at least try to learn 3-4 areas where various minerals are found in the different continents. Now let us come to our own country, India. So iron in India is found in the states of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Maharashtra. Bauxite is found in Jharkhand, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu. Mica is found in Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan. Copper in Rajasthan, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. Manganese in Maharashtra, Odisha, Chhattisgarh. Limestone in Bihar, Jharkhand, and Gujarat. And gold, particularly in Karnataka. So, in Karnataka, there is a region which is known as the Kolar region. So, there we find gold mines. All right. So this is about the distribution in India, and also make sure you go through all these slides very well, because as I told you, map type questions are definitely coming from here. So this is the distribution of minerals in India. You can go through the map later on once I share the video with you. Now let's come to the uses of minerals. So why are minerals useful? So minerals are used mainly in industries. Minerals are used for gems, and these gems are usually very hard. The gemstones, the diamonds, the various precious gems that we wear. So copper is another metal which is used in everything, starting from the coins that we use to buy things to the pipes that we use in our home. Then silicon is another mineral which is used in the computer industry and is obtained from quartz. Aluminium is obtained from the ore bauxite and is used in automobiles and aeroplanes, bottling industry, building, and even in cooking, kitchen cookware. So aluminium, copper, these are some type of minerals which are used in our day-to-day life. Next is conservation of minerals. So remember students, minerals are non-renewable resources. Once if it gets depleted, then it will take thousands of years for its formation. So the rate of formation, if you compare with the rate of human consumption of these minerals, then the rate of formation is very small. That is why it is very necessary to reduce the wastage in the process of mining and to preserve the minerals as much as possible for our future generations to come and bear the fruits, isn't it? So, one way of conserving the mineral is not only by stopping mining, but also by the recycling of metals. So, recycling of metal is a very important way in which the mineral resources can be conserved for our future use. All right. So that's all, dear students. Today we discussed about the various concentration of minerals in the different continents of the world. Then we went on to the distribution of minerals in India. We talked about the usefulness of minerals, and finally we talked about the importance and the way of conserving minerals. So students, this is your homework. So in your book, in this chapter itself, there are certain small boxes which you all tend to ignore. So in order to ensure that you do not ignore those boxes, I am giving questions from that box particularly. So first of all, define a rock. Number 2, what are ores? And number 3, name the country where there are no known mineral deposits. So these are very short questions which you will find when you read the extra informations given in the boxes in your chapter itself. So that's all for today, students. I will be attaching this PPT in Google Classroom as well, where you can see the homework. And it is only in that area where you can attach your homework in the PDF format and submit it by today evening. So that's all, dear students. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you will be able to memorize all the important things that have been told today. And also, I hope that you will be able to find out and in the next class tell me about some more ways as to how resources can be conserved and why conserving of resources are important. So thank you, students. Have a very good day, and kindly go through the PPT also as I share it with you once the video is shared.